Hi everyone, hope you're doing good. This is ways that you can help protect yourself as an intuitive empath. I'm not going to cover too much about the ways to know if you are an empath, but there are different kinds of empaths, and there's a lot of information out there that you can research regarding the topic. But all empaths, they tune into the emotions and vibrations of others and their surroundings. They also can pick up on those things, and they can also tune into private and personal things uh, about other people because everyone carries everyone carries personal information within their auric field. And so sometimes when you're passing by someone or they may come in your presence for a moment, you can just know intuitively personal things about them, like things maybe they've kind of experienced growing up as a child, or maybe something to do with their heritage, or maybe what country they're from. So it's very easy. Also, if you enhance your abilities by tuning into your own vibration um, and frequency through the heart center, then you become a very powerful healer. If you are an empath, you are a natural, powerful healer. That's because they've been through a lot as a child themselves. This is actually how they have this ability, which anyone can have this ability, but it's just natural for them because they had to learn to tune into their sixth sense more and, to their surroundings. They are very empathetic, and that's the word empath. They're very understanding, and people sense that. They pick up on it. And so people sometimes, even if you don't know them, they'll come up to you and start sharing personal things about their life. If you're just standing in line in a store or something, or you just met someone, many times you've had this experience. And so this goes into the number one for all empaths, and really this goes for anyone, but for all empaths, is having boundaries. Okay, this is the number one important thing for you to do as an empath, even though it can be one of the most difficult things to do. If you don't do this, you're going to feel more drained, and it's like, having your cup and it not being filled. If you don't, and because you're constantly giving and giving and giving, then you will just feel drained and you won't have anything left to give. So it's very important to have these boundaries and to protect yourself as an empath. Many people who, for instance, most people who are in a low vibrational frequency, which most people are becoming more aware and raising their vibration right now, but many people aren't as well too. And so because they're at a low vibration, they have etheric energetic attachments that they may not even be aware of. And what happens is that if they're near you, sometimes you can actually not just pick up on these things, but they can kind of try to attach to you. Most people are susceptible when you are in a lower vibration to dark forces or, impurities, negative energies. And so it's very important to have those boundaries. And this leads into the number two, which is not being around large crowds of people for too long. So, for instance, if you go to a concert or you are in a store where there's a lot of people, a huge group, this can be very draining on empaths. And you will notice when you go to these places, you can feel the energy being harvested. And so it's very important to protect yourself and not be in those places, at least for long periods of time. And after you're done going in those places, you can cleanse yourself with sage or Palo Santo, or, take a shower or a bath. If Now, everyone's circumstances are different, and let's say you have a career where you can't just, you have to work around many different types of people, or a group of people. You can't just get up and, necessarily, you feel you can't just get up and leave and change career. These other things I'm about to share with you will help at least protect you and help you stay grounded and balanced within your own energy so that you aren't a target or you aren't susceptible to attachments. But I do highly recommend to try to get yourself in a position where you are become self-employed, or at least you're working more independently. Eating higher vibrational foods. So that being a plant-based diet. If you eat more vegetables and fruits, you will notice a difference. When I became a vegetarian, I did notice a difference. I felt lighter and I felt more joyful and more positive. Because when you eat meat and the animal goes through the suffering, you're consuming that and then you're taking that within your body. And then many times you will feel just more anxiety and more depression. Empaths are more susceptible to feeling that way. And so you do notice difference. And I still will eat eggs because I feel that they are really healthy for you, but there are other ways that you can substitute eggs and get protein within your diet. Also, staying away from a lot of sugar or caffeine. And I love, coffee and chocolate. And dark chocolate is actually good for you if you eat it in moderation. So just most things, in moderation. Just try not to consume it all day long because this will lower your vibration and you will feel a difference. Plus, you can get more moody and things, and so just try to stay away from those things if you can. Now, the next one is taking walks and going on hikes, tuning into nature. Okay, so when you go on hikes and you walk out into nature, you'll get more oxygen flowing through you, and this will help release any blockages that you have, as well as, keep your energy flow, the life force energy flowing through you. And you'll get more oxygen in your body, into your mind, and so it's just very good for you, especially if you are someone who has an air sun or moon or ascendant. But really, this can go for anyone. Even water or signs, fire signs, but yes, air signs, they're more prone to like mental blocks, and they'll get like kind of drained and blocked because sometimes at times will overthink a lot, or it's like empaths will have certain astrology chart placements that I find are kind of common. So if you're an empath, like certain water sign, air sign, and earth sign placements, as well as fire signs, but yeah, it's the certain placements that's interesting, but that I'll find in common. Like many Taurus midheavens, I notice, are natural empaths. Also, like people who have a water sign as one of their primary signs, many times I notice are empaths as well. Sometimes I would just lay out in nature, or lay on a rock, lay underneath trees, and just tune into the vibration of nature. And I always found that this was really relaxing and helpful. Just very grounding, relaxing. And yeah, so this is something that you can practice. Naturally, our bodies biologically are connected to the earth, so it's really good, especially with all the technology. It's really good to be outside, and especially with everything going on, tuning into nature. It's one of the most important things that you can actually do right now, is detaching from the electronics and connecting to nature. This leads into the next one, I think it's number 5, which is it goes with the tuning into nature, earthing and sun gazing, moon gazing and stargazing. So sun gazing is something that I practiced for about a year consistently a few years ago. And it is an ancient practice that involves gazing at the sun 10 minutes at sunrise and 10 minutes at sunset, and then increasing when there is no harmful UV rays, and then increasing the 10 seconds daily. If this is something that you would want to maybe perhaps experiment with, then I do highly suggest doing more research. But it has been scientifically proven to be very beneficial for your mind and body. And be mindful that the sun is a very powerful energy source. So just make sure, you're keeping grounded. When you are earthing, which is just walking on the earth barefoot, and you do this at the same time as you're sun gazing, because you stand on the ground barefoot as you're gazing at the sun, this will help detoxify your body, because the earth has negative ions and also electrons that help to do this, detoxify your body. So it's very, very good for you. And yeah, so the next one is meditation. So you can do breath work at the same time as you are doing your meditations. And meditating is, as most people are aware of now, is very, very healthy for you. It helps you balance your own energy, and it helps you just tune into your heart center, your own heart frequency, and release any attachments that you may have. It also helps you, all of these things that I'm talking about too, will help you remember original intention and your original innocence, which I will talk more about later in a different video. But yes, all these things are very important. And the next one is taking what I call a bath. Also, before I mention this, when I would go on hikes or walks, you can touch trees, and trees have a very grounding energy, and so when you touch them, you can just feel that. And also, if you sit underneath a tree, you can go into a meditative state very quickly. And yes, it's just very helpful. So doing that as well helps. So the last one is by taking a bath. And what I do is I put pink Himalayan salt. I will put certain protective herbs and essential oils in the bath. So it could be like lavender, relaxing, and then, orange. And you can also eat a lot of oranges too. This is something that I started doing on a daily basis, was eating oranges or making orange juice, and I did notice difference too. And going back as well to the plant-based diet, I want to say that, yeah, I think it's within a month, you will actually start, your auric field will start strengthening, and you will notice it will be different. Within a week or two, you will start noticing you'll feel different when you start eating more of a plant-based diet, but especially after around 30 days, it will actually have more of an effect upon your auric energy field. And so when you take a bath too, what I do is when you think thoughts like that and you are in gratitude, it will have an effect upon the water, even just slightly, instantly. So this kind of goes into the Dr. Emoto scientific study that you can research, where when you put intention and thoughts and certain frequency, certain or vibration towards water, it will actually change the crystallized form of that water. And so this is why too, listening to lower vibrational music, which most mainstream music is set at a lower vibration purposely, it's very important to try to stay away from that as much as possible. Because it does have an effect more than we realize that it does upon our body, because our body is made up of around, I think, 80% water. And yeah, so all these things, they help. Himalayan salt, it is very protective, and it helps. Water does what it does physically, which is cleanse your body. It does energetically and spiritually for you. So this is why they would do baptism within religion. So yeah, so you can use any kind of oils too. You can use rose, jasmine, anything. But I like to use, usually I'll use more of, lavender, jasmine, or orange for those purposes. But yeah, you can just be creative and just do however you feel the most comfortable doing. You can light candles, focus on the flame, and that will help your mind to relax and calm your mind and teach and train your mind to focus. So for many years now, and they've always been very effective for me. Gratitude, even if you can write affirmations daily, even thinking of things to be grateful for that help get you in that, gratitude, feeling gratitude, which is, thinking like being grateful for having a bed to sleep in at night, or having food to be able to make, and eat healthy food, or having children to be able to care for and protect and love and help them grow and learn, and yeah, so simple things like that. So all these things, it will help you, and you can protect your energy field and do what you do best.